Yo, what's up, you? Tube Power Rangers. My 10 bowling shirt. But welcome to first video of 9.2. Sorry I haven't made one recently. Actually got my booster shot. I was pretty sick for like a week and a half, so could have been bedridden. But I've been chilling on 9.2, enjoying 9.2 a little bit. You can really do whatever, right? You don't have to farm it. You're gonna get revered second legendary by week 5 or whatever it is, so I'm not too worried. I go in there and I like just try and do a couple of things, hang out with friends and all that. So I don't actively go in there, and I'm just trying to make money as well. I go in, farm the Genesis motes, these things, so you can craft some pets and things right now. So I'm just taking it easy. But as you know, after reset in the day, the Sepulcher, whatever, I don't know even how to say it. The raid of the first ones is gonna come out. And then there's gonna be a whole bunch of survival hunters. I've seen them out in the world. Seen them out in Azeroth Mortis a lot. Sorry, I'm just like logging into my PC because I'm doing this in the between. But I've seen a lot of survival hunters, so the flavor of the month, everyone's gonna jump on there. So what I want to do is go through each of the bosses and quickly talk about what kind of pieces that you're going to actually want from the raid, and then the other pieces that you can use to fit your legendary slot, your unity slot, and also the free the crafter 262 slot as well, because you want to pick up the crit haste as well, and plus it gets a special power from there, so that's going to help increase your age. I appreciate you all still staying here. I'm blessed to have you all. 9.2 is coming around. Survival flavor of the month. I really want to show the this weapon that I got from Marzane, but I don't have no like neutral mobs around. But anyway, it is. So again, we'll go through each boss, maybe talk about the boss itself, what kind of build you want to be running, especially normal, pre tier 4 set, and post tier 4 set, because it's all going to change. So for sure, let's go and let's talk about each of the bosses in the Sepulcher of the first ones. There we go. And let's talk about the loot. Alrighty then. Alright, so we're actually going to talk. I'm going to leave this up in the corner because this is our tier set. And what we want to do is you want to maximize like your stats for Survival Hunter. Like you want crit, haste, versatility, and as less as mastery as possible, right? So what we want to do is we'll go over this. So the God's Stalker's battle gear. So you have crit haste on hands, very good. You want to use your tier in this slot. Crit mastery on your legs. It's a very high mastery, so you probably want to either put your unity, or you want to put your wildfire cluster or any other legendary on your legs, because it's high mastery, very low crit. This is your head, high haste, high versatility, which is good. You have high crit, low verse on your chest, which is good, and your shoulders, which is high haste, low crit. So out of all these, the only piece that has mastery is the legs, which you won't want to be using for Survival Hunter. So again, you can put your unity on it. If you already have your wildfire cluster legs on it because you've been playing it in 9.1 and you already have 262, this is going to be probably one of your best slots to throw it in. And for your unity, you throw your unity on your neck piece or on your waist. Really up to you. So that's the set. So yeah, we're just talking about when the best in slot for survival is gauntlets, head, chest, and shoulders, and you don't want the leggings. So that means we can now go and we can talk about like each of the bosses, since we've talked about the tier sets, and you already have 4 of the ones that you've already got filled. So we're always going to talk about the jailer and these 3 because these 3 bosses have the highest higher level. So you're going to be using them regardless if they are higher level, because agility is your main stat. You want more agility over anything. So these 3 drop a higher item level. We start and talk about the Lords of Dread. You have your cloak. This is the best cloak in the game. So you definitely be wanting to run the cloak of Lords of Dread. The hands, again, you won't probably want to need it. This is probably moving more towards marksmen, because you want crit verse with low haste. This could also work for beastmaster as well, and plus you get stinging strike at 278, and I think we've put it on mythic as well. Rylagon, best in slot gun for marksman and BM, again at eye level. Wrists are so good. So these 2 bosses are insane at the moment for Survival Hunter. So he has best in slot wrists. Lodrev has best in slot back. The finger here, not very good because it's insanely high mastery. You're gonna probably want this for marksman, because mastery is one of your best. And if we talk about the jailer, weapon, high versatility is going to be good for PvP too. Holy moly, high versatility, crit, higher item level. The neck is going to be best in slot for everybody as well. Crit, haste, mastery. Mastery's alright. The leggings as well. You can probably pick these up and throw them in, and then you can also change it up, right? You can have cluster on the waist piece instead, and then you can have unity on a ring, or you can have unity on the neck piece, because it has a high crit, high high haste, decent crit on them. So you can also use this. I don't know about these trinkets. The trinkets haven't been like data mined properly, I don't think. I've gone to Blood Melon, but I don't know too much about them. I only know there's one trinket that you want to be using from the raid, which is the sigil of the first one, which is in an earlier boss. So these 3 bosses, again, Lords of Dread, cloak, Rylagon, wrists, and then the jailer, the weapon, legs, and the neck piece. Again, higher item level is always going to be your main stat, pretty much. Alright, so now we're going to go to the earlier bosses, which is going to be released after reset. So the 3 bosses, the last 3 bosses are actually going to be released 1 week later. So let's talk about the actual bosses that you're going to potentially be able to get loot from, and plus from your chest piece. I mean, not chest piece, from your great vault. Alright, so Vigilant Guardian is the first boss. You have the Helm, high mastery, high verse. This is going to be used for MM more, but you probably want it because of the transmog. Really cool. You have the Waste, which is high verse, low haste, which is good for survival. So if you can pick this up, like when you're talking about gearing and chopping and changing, if you have cluster on your waist and you have cluster on your legs, if you have both, if you really want to min max, and you can use cluster on your legs, pop this and pop this on your waist until you start getting more gear within the raid. So if you have different pieces, it's going to be working for you even more. And then last piece, this is crit mastery, which is going to be again more for MM and BM as well. But BM sort of you do want the haste and the crit mostly. So really, you only have the waste here from the first boss. Second boss, we have the only other shoulders in the raid, so you're going to want to pick these up. So the Mantle of the Broken Beast is high haste, low mastery. Again, without the tier piece on your shoulder, this is going to be the best piece in the game, unless you get a unity piece on your shoulder. Maybe you can throw that up in there, but you probably, again, it all depends on what kind of gear that you get. but because it has mastery, you probably don't want any mastery, or as least mastery, especially with the T4 set. So, but this is the only other shoulders in the raid. Then you have the cloak, haste mastery, which is decent. Again, mastery you don't want but then you have the Lords of Dread back, so you can use this as an earlier piece. You can even throw Unity. I'm not too sure about this trinket at all. So you have the other shoulders, so you want to pick these up. And you probably want to pick this up until you get the Lords of Dread cloak. But I think there's another cloak. I think we come back to it. I think there's another cloak in there. So Zymox is back. This looks like a fun fight. I can't wait to play this. So you have the crossbow, which is haste mastery. Again, this is going to be go for BM mostly. I actually can't wait to pick it up. I love the transmog of crossbows. So I hope to pick that up. Then you have the neck piece, which is crit haste insane. You're going to want to pick this up for survival unless you have your Unity on there. You have crit mastery gloves, more on the MM side. So from Zymox, probably want to pick up the neck piece if you're not running Unity on neck. So nothing too good from here, but a lot of good stuff for the other specs. Marksmen, pretty much marksmen here. The sausage. This is best in slot until the end boss, of course. Best in slot ranged weapon for marksmen because it's crit mastery, high mastery. Then you have the back, which is crit verse, which is decent enough. It doesn't have haste, but if you hit the cap of 35% haste, then you can actually run this cloak, so you can get more crit, more verse. So again, it all depends on what your stats look like. If you have like 35% haste, then you can start swapping gear out to get other things like crit and verse. So this is not too bad as well. And then you have the chest, which is high verse, low mastery, which is good for MM. So really, the sausage is a decent upgrade for survival, just because it doesn't have mastery, and you can pick up a lot of haste on any other piece, and the rest are for MM. I think prototype Pantheon is going to be insane. All right, the prototype Pantheon has staff, which is crit haste, which is the best stats that you're going to want. I don't think there's a haste verse one, but you can get that from the other side as well if you can't pick this up. But we're only talking about the raid here. So you have the two-handed staff, crit haste, which you're going to definitely want. You have the wrist, which is crit mastery for MM, so you don't really want to pick these up here. You have haste versus feet. You definitely want to pick these up 100%. And then you have the one of the best in slot trinkets here. So you're gaining a whole bunch of versatility. I forget, someone told me how much it was, like 14 or something %. It's going to line up. Like you pop this on at the start of the fight and you gain like 14% verse, and you're just going to shred. So prototype Pantheon has really good upgrades in the weapon, the boots, and the trinket here, which is going to be good. So prototype Pantheon is one that you're going to want to jump in if you're on farm or your boss is progressing. Hopefully they can get you in on that fight. I call this the battery boss because there's like lithium battery. The lithium battery. You have the hands, which you want to grab. We have haste crit belt, which is you're going to want to grab. Where was the other belt from the first boss? So you have Vigilant Guardian, which has low haste, high verse, which is also, this is going to be good for PvP. But then you have the battery boss, which has high haste, low crit. So you're going to probably want to grab that, and you definitely want to grab this super high haste, low crit. That's going to be insane. This is going to help you be able to move pieces around and get more versatility, get more crit in your gear. So I'm about to sneeze, but not. So hopefully get into prototype and the battery boss here. Very two good pieces. Then you have Holondrus, which has what are these? The leg. You probably don't need this because this has the crit mastery, so you don't want this boss. We have feet, crit verse. No, not too bad. There are better ones. Where were they from? From Prototype Pantheon, which has haste verse, which is better. Then you have the ring high mastery low verse for MM, and nothing really from here, to be honest. This is more for MM kind of fight, nothing really for survival. Yeah. And last but not least, you want the helm piece from Anduin. I can't wait to do this fight because it just looks like a fun fight. There's a lot of ads with your 4-set piece. You're gonna like bomb, and you're just gonna like give it a pad. Not really padding because you get like 150% damage on the Lich King. Spoiler. Down there, so it's going to be good. So if we talk about pieces, you want the helm, neck piece you want for MM, and the cloak is the waist is you don't want this. So there are actually two other waist pieces. So you have from the battery boss, lithium, and vigilant guardian. So that is yeah, that's loot. I hope you guys get lucky as I do. Hopefully, hopefully I get lucky. Because I can't wait to start playing this. If we have, again, if you go down to 2-set here for survival, when you kill command resets, you have 40% to have your next wildfire bomb incur no inclusion. And then Mad Bombardier, your wildfire bomb just passively does 30%, but then when you get a proc Mad Bombardier, it goes to 80%. So can't wait to play this. The look of the battle gear is a bit meh, but whatever it is, you can always transmog. But yeah, 9.2 Sepulcher of the raid ones loot list for Survival Hunter, and also marksmen and PM. I sort of talked about that as well. But yeah, appreciate it. 2 days, I'll be back streaming. We're streaming the new raid, streaming the new Mythic Plus. Can't wait for Tazavesh. It's going to be good. But until next time, peace.